What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Leo coming to you guys with yet another video. Coming to you guys today with yet another reaction. The title of the video: The Tragic Tale of Dana Brooke in WWE. For anybody who knows me or been subscribed to my channel for a while, or even just people who become new to my channel, Dana Brooke is literally one of my favorite women's wrestlers right now on the current roster, and just in WWE, or you can even say in probably women's wrestling, and just in every company put together, my favorite women's wrestler. So I'm very interested to see what Top 10 Wrestling has to say about Dana Brooke's career and everything like that. And I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on everything throughout the video, and then probably even after the video. So let's get into it.
Dana Brooke is one of WWE's most underrated wrestlers. A wrestler who has shown so much improvement over the years, and she's a very solid worker.
Yeah.
However, in her WWE career, it's safe to say that she's not been given a fair shake whatsoever. Dana Brooke has been in the WWE system for nearly 10 years now, and she's been stuck in booking limbo for most of it. Today, we're going to talk about the career of Dana Brooke in WWE. Make sure to subscribe to the channel right now if you haven't already, and let's get into the video.
Alright, let's get into it.
Ashley Sabera signed a contract with the WWE in July of 2013 and was assigned to the newly introduced WWE Performance Center, and she was assigned the ring name of Dana Brooke. Before WWE though, she had competed in bodybuilding, including competing at the Arnold Classic. She would make her first NXT appearance at NXT TakeOver Fatal 4-Way in 2014 in a backstage segment, and then the next week later, she made her debut on a house show and would begin working NXT house shows regularly through until the next year. Dana Brooke made her TV debut on the April 15, 2015 edition of NXT. She debuted as a heel and she beat Blue Pants in dominant fashion. Obviously, it was her debut, so she looked...
Yeah, that for a debut, I mean, that was a great start though. I will say that was a great start for her in WWE. That gave me goosebumps because it's like when I seen that match, I was like, literally, I was telling myself in my head at the time, and still today, it's like, this woman definitely is going to be the future of the women's division. She is going to be a big deal in the women's division in WWE, and I still stick by that.
Fairly green, but you can see that the potential was there.
Yeah.
Bailey in her
Oh,
next
absolutely.
match,
Potential was there.
with Emma after Emma helped her beat Bailey. And from here, Brooke would start appearing on NXT more regularly, facing off with the likes of Charlotte Flair, Carmella, and the iconic duo. Dana Brooke and Emma would find themselves feuding with newly signed Asuka in September 2015, leading to Asuka and Dana Brooke facing at NXT TakeOver Respect in Asuka's WWE debut, which Asuka of course won. The loss to Asuka was Dana Brooke's final match on WWE NXT TV, and she was called up to the main roster post-WrestleMania in 2016, and she debuted on the May 9th, 2016 Raw alongside Emma, attacking Becky Lynch.
And that's the thing. If you guys, here's the thing, and I'll people are gonna probably say, "Why are you stopping? It's a reaction video. I can't avoid getting copyrighted." Okay, but if you guys don't remember, I think it was during Breaking Ground, I believe. I think that's the show that they were doing on the WWE Network, and they had different NXT wrestlers be part of it. And if you guys don't know, she had her match with Asuka. That was her final match in NXT, and that was on NXT TakeOver Respect before actually making the jump to the main roster. And what you guys don't remember is she did have her, when she had her match with Asuka, they had their training. If you watched Breaking Ground, you would know. She was training with Asuka, and she tore her tricep, and she decided to keep on fighting. She decided to not pull out the match. She wanted to actually make sure the match went through and stuff like that. So that definitely, she earned all of my respect. All of my respect. Because anybody who's willing to put their bodies on the line, even if they're hurt, just to entertain the fans, like, I can give respect to that. And you guys should be able to give respect to any wrestler if they're able to do that, even if they're injured and still decide to keep going, whether you like them or not.
Later on SmackDown, Dana Brooke would make her in-ring television debut on the main roster and beat Becky Lynch. A big win
Yeah,
for Dana Brooke.
she beat Becky.
Started very well on the main roster.
She beat Becky Lynch, the same woman who's headlined WrestleMania, won numerous championships, and won the Rumble. Dana Brooke beat her in her SmackDown debut. When Dana Brooke made the transition from NXT to the main roster and was on SmackDown, even though it was back and forth and it wasn't like a brand split or anything like that, she beat Becky Lynch in her debut match.
Following this, she would beat Paige. However, Emma got injured. Plans was
She beat Paige. Or Saraya, whatever you want to call her. The same woman who is currently the AEW Women's World Champion right now. Dana Brooke beat her too.
her and Emma got put on hold, and WWE needed something for Dana to do, and they decided to pair her with Charlotte Flair, who was the women's champion at the time.
They really should have went all out with this one, bro.
Dana Brooke would go full heel.
I'll talk about it later or after.
On the losing end of matches, her in-ring career would usually consist of her finding herself in a losing effort against whoever Charlotte Flair was feuding with at the time. And hey, despite this was still a good spot for Dana to be in. She was
absolutely.
on TV every week. She was a part of big storylines alongside the Raw Women's Champion, and it was a good start for Dana Brooke's main roster career. On the March 13th, 2017 episode of Raw, Dana Brooke turned babyface for the first time when she turned on and attacked Charlotte Flair. Despite the big moment though, WWE chose not to capitalize on it, and Charlotte Flair defeated Dana Brooke in 3 minutes the next week, and that was that for Charlotte Flair and Dana Brooke. Just like that, just pushed to the wayside. Dana Brooke would still appear on Raw, but she was mainly either losing in a singles match or was just a body in a multi-person match. Dana Brooke was not being pushed whatsoever on the main roster at all now, and towards the end of the year, she would hit full-blown jobber status when she lost to Asuka in just 4 seconds and joined up with Jobber Faction.
That was stupid. That was stupid. Very stupid. WWE makes a lot of questionable decisions, but this was just terrible. Like, I get that you want to keep Asuka looking strong and make her look like a monster going into like the future, because I think this was when she first came up to the main roster and she was going on this undefeated streak until she lost that against Charlotte at WrestleMania 34. But you could have still had Asuka win or have Dana lose, but the way she lost, that was just stupid. You could have just had a 5-minute match and then called it a day. At least Dana Brooke would have put up some offense. It didn't make her look like a total joke to a lot of people. Well, she was never a joke to me, but like when you do stuff like this, it's just why? Like, it's just stupid, bro.
Titus worldwide. It was clear that WWE had no idea what to do with her. She entered the first ever Women's Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble in 2018, and she actually eliminated Kairi Sane, which got a funny reaction from people, before being dumped after just under 3 minutes in the match. And yeah, 2018 was a very quiet year for Dana Brooke. Really not a great year for the career of Dana Brooke in the WWE. And when I say that, I mean she didn't pick up a single victory on Raw throughout the entirety of the year. The biggest thing she did this year was compete in the Evolution.
What? So she won against Mickie James on main event. She won against Alicia Fox on main event. And, well, it was technically 3 times because, well, it's by DQ, so I don't, but it's still a win, so technically 3 wins. But that's still bad. Like, 2 of the wins came on main event.
Battle Royal, but of course she once again did not win it. By 2019, she had largely been relegated to main event and house shows, but in 2019 her matches on main event with the likes of Ruby Riott and Tamina started to get the attention of some fans. She scored wins over the both of them and was starting to pick up steam, and people were really noticing how much Dana was improving. She had introduced the Swanton Bomb as a new finisher and was really coming into her own as an in-ring worker, and this got her an opportunity in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year. Without a doubt, her biggest match and her biggest opportunity in the WWE to date at the time. And while she did not win the match, she really showed out in the match and made a statement, and lots of fans were impressed. We weren't familiar with her game, myself included, and I was excited.
I feel like that year with that lineup, it would seem believable that Dana Brooke could have won because I think it would have served as a factor. It's like nobody would expect it to happen. And I do think we need the thing I have a problem with a lot of the money in the banks, or at least on the women's side of things, they always go with the predictable people to win. They never really go with people that you wouldn't expect to win. And I feel like they need to start doing that a little bit more because if you look at the men's money in the bank history, we've had predictable winners. Let's not get it twisted. But we've also had shocking people win, like people that we wouldn't expect to win, like Jack Swagger. I don't think people expected him to win, and he became world champion. So I mean, when you think of it like that, why wouldn't you want to start doing that with women? Have women that don't get pushes in the company or stuff like that be featured in these Money in the Bank matches and have them win as a shocking factor, and you build stars out of them. I think that's what WWE needs to start doing and actually taking a chance like that.
See what Dana Brooke would do next. Well, unfortunately, not much, because following this, she was pretty much just sent right back down to main event, where most of her matches for the rest of the year would take place. She was drafted to SmackDown that year, and she would occasionally wrestle on SmackDown, but once again, she was mainly in the shackles of main event, and her matches on SmackDown were usually losses. She was not in a great place on the card heading into 2020. However, 2020 was the year that COVID struck the world, and it caused quite the reshuffle in the WWE, and that proved to be quite beneficial for Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke would begin the year by teaming with Carmella and even challenge for the women's tag team titles. Though it was unsuccessful, Dana Brooke was starting to get a bit of a push on the roster, and she was meant to be a part of the SmackDown Women's title match at WrestleMania, but she had to pull out of the match due to being in quarantine.
Yeah, that sucks. Like her first, women's championship opportunity pulled from underneath her because she got sick and wasn't able to make it to the show. Like she's never, like, as of me time recording this video, she's never challenged for the Raw Women's Championship, or the Women's World Championship now, the old SmackDown Women's Championship now called the Women's Championship, or the NXT Women's Championship. She hasn't challenged for any of those championships at the time of recording the video, and she's been in the company for 10 plus years and never challenged for any one of them. So it really sucks, and I really hope that she does get to challenge for at least one of those championships or something, because she definitely deserves, opportunities like that.
Which is just so unlucky. But upon returning, she would qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match, the one in WWE headquarters, where we saw the birth of a meme when she slipped as part of a bit in the match. She did not win the match, but once again, it was another big opportunity for Dana that she had taken.
Stupid. Again. And I'm not even smiling in a good way right now, or smirking in a good way. I'm smirking like, why would WWE do something like this? Like, really? You could have had anybody else in that match, but you want to have Dana do it? Like, really? You could have had Carmella do it, because I think she was, at around that time, she was still kind of doing a little bit of the comedic stuff. So it's like, why? Like, this could have been a perfect moment to have her win the briefcase. Because if you look at the competitors that we had, because we had Nia, Shayna, Lacey, and I think that was it. If I'm missing anybody, because I think it was just Nia, Shayna, Dana, and Asuka, and pretty much everybody knew Asuka was pretty much the fan favorite to win. But this was another opportunity that they could have used to do a shocking pick. That would have been a huge deal to have her win, and then you build her to be something big in the future for the company. And they didn't capitalize on it.
And this is where we'd start seeing Dana Brooke a lot more on TV, as Dana and
Yep.
Mandy would appear as a team on TV a lot, and were closely involved with the women's tag title scene throughout the rest of the year. They faced the likes of the Riot Squad, the Iconics, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and they challenged for the women's tag team titles multiple times in this year, unsuccessfully though. They competed at WrestleMania in 2021 in her first main card Mania match in a women's tag team turmoil to determine the number one contenders for the tag team.
10 years plus in the WWE and only had one match at Mania. One match on the main show. Outside of that, she was doing in the Women's Battle Royal. One match. And it was in a tag team match.
Titles competing in a losing effort. However, it was this match where Mandy Rose would be the one who would slip instead of Dana Brooke. Following this, they were teamed for a bit longer, but in July, the team was ended abruptly when Mandy Rose was moved to NXT and formed the Toxic Attraction.
They could have taken Dana Brooke with Mandy.
And leaving Dana in the dust once again. At the end of the year, though, Dana Brooke would get involved in the WWE 24/7 title division. In fact, she pinned Cedric Alexander in November to win it, her first ever title win in the WWE. And being in the 24/7 scene allowed Dana to be appearing on TV regularly, mixing it up and interacting with various wrestlers. She was in a romance angle involving Tozawa, Tamina, and Reggie, and as well she was trading the 24/7 title with other wrestlers regularly. On the November 7th, 2022 episode of Raw, Nikki Cross won the 24/7 title from Dana Brooke and put the title in the bin. Well, kinda. Signifying the end of the WWE 24/7 title. And when it was all said and done, Dana Brooke was a 15-time champion, had the tied second most reigns, and the second longest days combined as champion. And throughout her multiple reigns as 24/7 champion, Dana Brooke really did her best to hype up the title and make it mean something. And you could tell that being 24/7 champion really meant something to her. However, the scrapping of the 24/7 title left Dana Brooke in the dust once again, and Dana Brooke was relegated to main event yet again. Since the end of the 24/7 title, Dana Brooke has wrestled just 2 times on Raw. 5 minutes of total wrestling time,
and this was, and as you can see, this was in 2023, but this video that he did was 3 months ago, so this was before Dana Brooke pretty much went down NXT, because she is permanently on NXT now. They finally did that. So if we're looking here, she's won main event matches against Dana Brooke has beaten Emma, she has beaten Indy Hartwell, Zoe Stark, Brianna, and that's pretty much about it. So it's about 4 matches on, and most of all of these has pretty much been on main event. So I really don't know. This is, like I said, this is before she went to NXT, so I do have promise and hope that they actually are able to do something with her in NXT, because the guy screams like actual star potential, like untapped potential.
Wrestles on main events still nowadays, where even there she still only gets a win occasionally. It seems as though WWE no longer knows what to do with Dana Brooke, and it's a sad state of affairs, as Dana Brooke has been nothing but a hard worker over the last decade in the company. Do you think she deserves a push? Sound off in the...
Yes, she deserves a push. Top 10 wrestler, she deserves a push. But like I said, she's in NXT now. They have been using her correctly thus far. They've been protecting her in all of the matches, because she only pretty much lost 1 match since she's been down there in NXT. Outside of that, she hasn't lost. So I do like the directions they are going in. And also, like, if you don't remember, like I said, I was going to talk about this earlier. If you remember when they had Dana Brooke and Charlotte, they could have had all the potential in the world to do something and build Dana Brooke up, because at the time they could have built her into being a star to where she's kind of like not where the 4 horsemen are, but just right there close to them. But they didn't pull the trigger on it. They didn't do anything. Like they could have, they didn't. And she just they failed to capitalize on the opportunities that they could have done something with her. Now she's in NXT, and I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad that they're doing something with. She's being booked pretty much consistently on NXT. They're giving her feuds, they're giving her stories. She's about to potentially turn heel for the first time in about 8 years, because the last time she was heel was pretty much in 2016, because she turned in face in 2017. She's been a face ever since. So this would be something refreshing for her to actually develop her character, come up with something new and fresh. and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm all interested to see what that how potentially can happen. But man, she definitely deserves a push. She definitely deserves to be at the booked, handled way better than when she was a main roster. Man, I'm glad that NXT is doing something with her. But that is the comment. That's the end of this video, you guys. I can speak. That's the end of the video. Make sure you super kick that like button, Superman punch that post notification bell, and spear that subscribe button. We're on the road to 700. Sound off in the comment section down below. For people, or anybody really, if you come across this video, what do you guys think about Dana Brooke? Do you guys think that she could have been something, but just was handled poorly? Do you think it was just a lot of the WWE's booking and missed opportunities? What do you guys think? Leave it all down in the comment section down below, and I appreciate you guys kicking with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.